better than us because you're in the locker room or on the bench with those guys, but it seemed like they were as dialed in as they've been this season. Even, I think it was about 8 minutes left, and there was a timeout, and Alex was going down the bench and telling all those guys, focus in, focus in. Did you get that sense that they understood the urgency of not just winning games, but playing better basketball tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it, coming out of even the Denver game, it's just our spirit, and what I mean by that is I think that these guys work hard. They want to win, but, everything's not going to kind of go your way. And certainly this early part of the season, we have not shot the ball very well. And I think sometimes that can kind of wear on you a little bit and impact your spirit, and we've got to, there's things that we have control over. Men have control over the ball going to the basket, and I get these guys are pros and they put a lot of time in, and there's an expectation that they want to shoot the ball better, but there's still other ways to impact the game. And I just appreciated, the spirit they came out with. And obviously, it's always a little bit easier playing with that kind of spirit when you score 130 points. But I thought the intention that we played with was really good tonight, and it was good to see them sustain it, through the whole game. But that's the thing that was encouraging to me is just the spirit and the life that they had throughout the 48 minutes.
Are you feeling good about this team if the shooting upticks just a little bit more to normal?
Yeah, I mean, like I went back, coming back from Denver, you try to get to cumulative stats, and some of the shooting percentages are mind-boggling, and it's 82 games, and it's a very, very small sample size. And I believe if we keep generating and moving the ball like these guys have done, that we're gonna make our fair share of shots. I mean, Kobe really, really has struggled to shoot the basketball, and tonight he was 7 for 9. We had 8 guys in double figures, which was great. But yeah, as long as we've got to keep building consistency and resiliency to the struggles, and I get it, when you're working your tail off on defense and guys make tough shots or they see the ball going in for the other team, and then we're coming back and missing, and it kind of can snowball a little bit, but we just got to keep that energy, into the game and understand there's things that we can control. There are things that we can control. It's not a situation where we're helpless or, hopeless. We have to control what we can control. And I felt like they were dialed in to do that tonight. So, yeah, I've really, really, really loved these group of guys. They're great to work with. I think their hearts are in the right place, and they're constantly come to work every day looking to get better and looking to improve.
Billy, the last couple of games, you had leads at halftime and you lost those leads. Today you maintained the lead and it seemed like you put the gas on the pedal a little bit. What was the difference, in your opinion, that led to that tonight?
I think to talk to what Joe was saying, by Alex, by DeMar and Zach and Vooch and just the whole team in the huddles, and especially Torrey Craig, after right when we went out there, he's just like, listen, same situation as Denver. We've got to come out and respond. And, again, it may not go your way, but you don't want to, like, we got down by like 10 like that when the game was within one possession. And I thought tonight, that was the talk in a lot of the huddles, and I think that they were dialed into that.
Points off turnovers were like the biggest margin tonight, and obviously some of that was just Utah making some mistakes that they'd like to get back. But how do you make sure that this team capitalizes at that same kind of rate of efficiency off of turnovers in future games?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing for us is I felt like we were at our best in the open floor and in transition, whether it was off turnovers or missed shots. I think when we kind of come down slow and, we're trying to get the possession revved up, we can struggle, and we have a hard time getting the ball ahead of the defense. When we come down like that off turnovers with some speed and some force and some pace, we can generate good shots. And I thought on the break we did a good job of sharing it and moving it and getting downhill or spraying it out for threes.
Billy, Javon came in the end of the first quarter, had a couple of transition threes, had a couple where he was like coming off screens. Can you just kind of speak to the kind of pressure that puts on defenses when you're getting movement threes and not just kind of like spray out and stand still, catch and shoot?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked to Javon about him taking those. He's got to take those shots. He's worked incredibly hard on his shooting to become the shooter he is, and he doesn't need to bypass any. And when he's got those walk-up threes and people are back below the three-point line, want him to take them. And he's a very, very active mover off the ball. tried to get him off the ball, quite honestly, a little bit more to do what you're talking about there, where we can kind of free him up for some of that stuff because he's got good speed coming off screens. He gets it off really quick. And even a lot of times when guys are penetrating and he's moving into open areas of the floor, we can find him and, he can generate some threes that way. So, yeah, I think he made a big three. Obviously they had a little momentum going there. I think it was in the fourth or maybe the end of the third, and he had the dribble up, walk up three, which was big.
Alex was in that wrap again on his arm on the bench. Were you managing minutes any differently with him tonight?
No, he had no minute restriction other than what we talked about, before the game, and just in terms of trying to manage his load throughout the course of the game. But there was nothing there that I had gotten from Alex or medical that, hey, he's hurting or he's sore, or, he's limited.
What do you think of Patrick Williams' game tonight, and how do you feel that experiment's been going on him off the bench, just through a small sample size?
I thought he was good tonight. I thought he had a chance to have had a pretty explosive night. He had some plays that were really close to finishing on some drives and some spins in the lane, and a couple, offensive rebound. He shot the ball well from three, knocked down some threes. But yeah, I thought he played well. I liked the way he played. I thought he was aggressive and he was physically tacked. He shot threes. I think he was on the defensive glass. I think there was a few more he could have come down with that maybe got bobbled out of his hands. But I like the intensity and the focus he played with and the aggressiveness he played with.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you.